This is Deducter, continuing the commentary playthrough of the Scout on normal mode. I actually ran around the map consolidating a few more items. For instance, I went to that ammo chest there and got 2 energy backpacks from it. I also went to the repair station and repaired my armor and both my melee weapons. So, I am in excellent shape. I also realized that for whatever reason I didn't have the lifter pack equipped, so I re-equipped that and gained some more inventory space. But because of the sheer number of items I found and picked up, I'm out of space again. And now I am on floor 17. Oh dear. Okay, this enemy, the Corrupt Leer, is extremely dangerous. I better kill it with my best weapon. It can use psionic powers and it shoots a laser. It's just all around a nasty creature. I think the auto shotgun, and I better equip the Squawker drone to boost my accuracy and damage. Not gonna equip the targeting helm, that takes a turn. I'm gonna unequip my accelerator boots since I don't want this damaged in combat. I'm just gonna run up and blast it with my shotgun. Actually, the laser carbine looks like it's better. Wow, you can see just how much damage that thing did. Did a telekinetic fist on me. Oh, alright. Definitely a very nasty enemy.
Need more mana.
So now is a good time to start my poly pile. I'm gonna drop this, and then some crafting ingredients that aren't high priority. Like giant mitochondria, don't need that. Primordial soup, don't need that just yet. Safe meat, sonic nodules. I'm gonna keep the rest of this stuff around. Don't need my sharpening kit or the labus berries. I can eat this. That'll free up some space for me to keep exploring on this level. Alright. 20, I believe it takes 20 psi.
Okay, focus on my breathing.
It's a bioslug. This, for whatever reason, the description doesn't show up unless you right-click on it and it says info. What it does is you can insert it into a weapon or an armor with a slot open, and it'll destroy a biomod in there. So, in other words, this is. Oh, I should unequip my Squawker drone soon, after I finish fighting these robots. So it's a way of testing. So yeah, that biomod is a way of... Sorry, fighting these robots distract me greatly. It's a little green man, that thing. I hate that thing. Alright, these enemies, the Hopkinite enemies, you need a laser weapon to deal with. They have extremely high armor, and you need something with very high penetration to punch through their armor. But right, as I was saying, the biomod, what you can do is you can put a biomod in one of your weapons or armor, and if it's a good biomod, then you obviously don't want to eliminate it, but if it's a bad one, what you can do is just put the slugging and it'll destroy it for you. Pretty useful. I have some biomods in my bank. Let's see. Ooh, I should definitely unequip the Squawker drone now. Use up quite a bit of charges on it. That's alright. Ugh, what do I do? You don't need my armor for these guys. Oh, my targeting helm, that's what it's damaging. Ouch, I lost 4 durability on that. I gotta be careful. Definitely need to be paying a bit more attention. It's another. That's also a Hopkinite.
Feel the power.
I'm gonna let the Berserk virus go crazy and kill stuff for me in there. It'll give enemies disease. And I believe Pocket Knights have extraordinarily low... Something just turned invisible there. Ah, great. Better level up now and distribute my points. Electronics. Computer. Rifle. The telekinesis. The action is still worth it, so I can get cure. I don't necessarily need to put too many more points into foraging right now. Whereas Pisto is worthwhile, and so is Mechanical. Alright.
Focus on my
Let's see.
breathing.
The Hopkinite has sort of moved itself out. That's kind of irritating.
It's just a fly.
Just seems as good of a time as any to use the last remaining charge on that squadron drone. Very irritating enemies. Alright.
Damn it!
Alright. Side drain, don't want that. Reload. I'm not gonna step through the door, as long as I don't do that, I'll be fine. No reason to unequip the Squawker drone at this point. Since if I unequip it, then I just can't re-equip it. It's out of charges. I can always use one of my energy cells to recharge it if necessary. That's a fire foam. It's not a super useful item on normal difficulty. It reduces, I mean, it doesn't reduce, it eliminates the fire debuff from your character, but I wouldn't be too worried about the fire debuff, since it doesn't do that much damage on normal difficulty, at least.
I'm ready.
More hybrid cheese. I seem to be getting a lot of that. I wonder what that trap is. Let's see, Peruvian. Don't want to fight it. Alright. That's an interrogation pod, perfect. So what an interrogation pod does, and this is how I'm gonna... Okay, I can deal with this enemy then. That looks like a stone mole. Yeah, that seems as good of a choice as any. This, by the way, is augmentation bait. If you succeed in passing the check, it'll give you a beneficial buff, a permanent buff on your character. It can be very powerful. But let me explain the interrogation pod first. I'm just gonna wait here until the stone mole, come on, gets next to it. Come on. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Come on, creature. Wow, that thing can't be smart enough to figure out that it needs to avoid interrogation pod, can it? Damn. Well, if I had done it successfully and lured a Stomo next to it, it would have insta-killed it, but I don't know how this particular critter figured out my fiendish trap. So I'm gonna have to kill it the old-fashioned way. I mean, maybe it's just random luck, but however the Stomo figured out my trap, good for it. Good for it. Alright. Then I can still do this with the Protean, though. Using it on a medium Protean is kind of not necessary.
It's just like that. And now, you're dead.
There's another Stomo, maybe I can lure that one over. Oh, something did get lured over apparently, a wandering clone worker. And that's what it does, it insta-kills any organic enemy, no matter how much health they have. Very, very powerful trap. Yeah, there is a Stomo down there. More food. So the augmentation bay, if you pass the decipher check successfully, will give you a permanent buff, and the buff can be really good, like +1 movement speed, extra armor, extra stats. On the other hand, if you fail, it can debuff you permanently, and it can be a pretty... Right, that's not real. Stomo.
I'm ready.
I'll deal with you soon.
Never miss.
Alright. So right, the augmentation bay. You do not want to use that unless you have very good decipher skill, which the best way to do it is to use an item that buffs your decipher temporarily. Deal with that too. Oh, blew that up. I didn't mean to do that. That's okay. Well, this game requires a high degree of concentration from me while playing, at least if I want to move at a reasonable pace.
My strength is exhausted. Okay. Focus on my breathing.
Let's see. Storage pods. Generally contain some crafting items. Mutagens, don't really need that. String sink. Now that is useful. Terror trap. Might as well use manipulation to try to recover it. What is this? Energy tap. It's useful for making certain advanced, like, bioweapons. I'm gonna even pick it up. Alright, Terror Trap is actually potentially very useful.
I can feel the power.
Seems as good of a time as any to continue using the laser carbine.
Not this time, I think.
I have so many charges.
That hurts.
Choose anti-brie and Hyper Brain Crystals. Hyper Brain Crystals is another crafting item. Teleporter. I wouldn't actually mind like triggering robots on this level and fighting them in this area. But then again, I have very low number of charges on my laser carbine, so maybe I'll do that later.
I've spent too much energy.
Alright. Perfect. Living steel remnant. That means I only need the adamantium resin to make adamantium claws, which is an absolutely amazing item. I better pick up the cyber connectors too. That's another part of the ingredient to making those amazing melee weapons, but cyber connectors are such a common drop that
Help me, sister. Give
terror
me
trap.
strength.
Alright. 20 side, I don't quite have that yet.
I'm ready. Need better tools.
Alright. Sounds like a robot. Okay, that sound, that's a heavy security bot. Those are the ultimate robots. Very nasty. I'm going to have to retreat a while I deal with the Protean. Looks like I probably will have no choice but to
My strength
fight my
is
way
exhausted.
through these enemies. Let me use my motion sensor just so I can see where a security bot is in that room. Okay, I understand. Right. This is why the shotgun is awesome. Oh boy, there's the robot. Don't want to fight it at long range since it throws grenades. Grenades are no fun. Let's see. Where exactly is it? There we go. So the way you can beat these robots is with EMP grenades. That did a tremendous amount of damage on it, but it still lives. So blast it with the laser carbine, and it's not dead yet. That's astonishing. What's the weapon that has the next best penetration? Let me try the auto pistol.
They're fast.
All right. That was close. Well, it wasn't really close, but I should have reloaded the laser carbine earlier. But yeah, those heavy security bots will chase you from their spawn points and chase you pretty far, all the way across the map, potentially. Their only weakness is that they are incredibly slow, so you can outdistance them and pick better terrain on which to engage.
Okay.
How's my ammunition supply? It's acceptable. Let's see what's in here. Repair bay, more Rigi drone. Don't really need my armor equipped for this since I am going to kill the Morigi drone first. Since I have a level up. I hear something else. Here's the exit. Perfect. That should be most of the robots on this floor. In case it wasn't, this should attract any remaining robots. Alright, come on, robots. I know what that is. It's another one of those strangler type enemies. Except this one is called the Utuku. Don't need these. I am comes equipped.
Ow! Ow!
Lockpicks! Perfect. I was running low on them too. Yeah, I only have 2 charges left on that one. Excellent find.
It's just flying. Can't fight the pain.
This seems as good of a time as any to level. Computers. Lockpick. Still gonna level up empathy and telekinesis. Redaction is probably in a pretty good place right now since I don't really need metabolic control. I have so much food. But mecha empathy might be worth leveling up to get to shutdown at this point. Or I can keep putting points into resistance. That's also a pretty good choice. It makes the psi armor even better since it scales with resistance skill. Melee. I can also start putting points into melee. Yeah, that's what I'm actually gonna do because I anticipate making an adamantium claw. I'm only missing 1 reagent for that. But then again, it seems rather foolish to do this before actually picking up the claws. I don't know. I don't really need mecha empathy. Higher level redaction also has other advantages. Right, and I should put fear on my hotbar. I did gain that. Very useful ability. I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to think about this. The scout, because she comes with so many, is in some ways last. Is that an Aptoid? Yep.
Give me strength.
I heard a robot. Uh-huh. Alright. It's another energy tap, don't need that. Nothing, that's alright. Ooh, this is a floor with 2 exits. That means one of these is a biome. Where you can go to hunt animals to get crafting reagents and especially additional food. What do I need? Let's make another energy drink, why not? I still haven't managed to recharge those items. If I remember correctly, on the previous floor there was an analysis console. The user identified as biomod. Or, alternatively, I have that bioslug, right? Let's do that. Pyrotechnic enhancers attract security when used. Sometimes that can be a good thing, but more often than not, I would rather fight fewer enemies at once. So, we put in the bioslug. Oh, apply to auto shotgun. And voila. That's how the bioslug works. Pretty useful little item. I have plenty of base paste. So I don't really need to cook anything else. Digital assistant, perfect. This is a item that boosts my computer skills. So this should, in conjunction with my very high computer skill now, allow me to use repair station with nearly perfect efficiency. Let's see, just as a test. Oh, let's put the armor here. Very good. I still want to level up computers a bit more, but yeah, this item will help me get into armor lockers too. Cleared out pretty much all of this floor. Which one of these is the real exit? Let's find out. Apparently it's this one. Let's start dropping some of my crafting items here. And then I'm going to go to the previous floor to pick up my pile of stuff. So I think this is a good point to pause the video as I do this. Until next time.